Never in the game have we talked about talent trees as much as we've talked about them over the last week. And the reason why is because they've changed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, we've addressed this a little bit, but now that we actually have it in the game, we are going through this and seeing how this stuff works. There are different trees that got some benefits, and they even changed a couple of things from the original patch notes. So stick around while we go through all of that and we go through exactly what it means and what it's done and what we're going to see out of it right now.
You can feel that burn and you already know we're locked in deep. This is Chatsky Mode. This is Chatsky Mode.
Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time, and I love doing these videos. I love doing guides. I love talking about the game. I'm a nerd, and I love doing the nuances. If you guys enjoy these videos, please throw a thumbs up on here. Give them a like. It helps out the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, they tell me. And having interaction on these videos is really, really good for the channel. Also, if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. You can hit that subscribe button. It does not cost you a thing, guys. And you can also hit that bell to get alerts whenever I do different content like this. Hey, look, Matthew Shin, thank you so much for subscribing while I'm recording a video. So we just got the new patch notes. It just came out in the game, and we've gone through the new update, okay? So let's talk about this. When we look at this, let's go through here, and let's kind of pull this thing down, because the major change that came with this was the change to talents in the game. Now, I am not a big fan of this. I do not like changing talents. I don't like changing commanders, right? My whole thing when it comes to this is if you want to balance the game, you balance the game with new formations. You balance the game with new accessories, right? That can come into the game. We've had those. And you balance the game with new commanders. That's how you balance the game, with new attributes, new mechanics, new commanders, new everything. That's how you balance the game. Well, they figured the game was a little bit out of balance because there are some talents in here that are not doing what they used to do. And let me explain why. Here are two main talents here, okay? One is loose formation. One is emergency protection, okay? These were talents that were really, really good in the support tree. And this is a few years ago, because this used to be, before yesterday, was just skill damage. Like it was take 9% less skill damage of all types. Well, back 3 years ago, that's all any of the commanders did. So it was basically like take 9% less active skill damage of all types. And so from there, you had the same thing with emergency protection. You get a trigger buff 50%, and for 3 seconds, you take 15% less skill damage. Well, what they did is that they changed this, okay? And we're already seeing a benefit to this. They changed this to add combo and smite. And they did the same thing here, okay? And so all of a sudden, the support tree got a massive buff, massive upgrade. Okay, like really, really good upgrade. And so with that, when you look at this overall, they didn't just change it, even though they referenced any reduction to skill damage taken effect is now a reduction to skill, combo, and smite. That's not necessarily the case, because they did not do that for any skill damage reduction. Let me explain, okay? They didn't do it, and everybody in the Cav Simp arena, you know this. You got a Blazing Shield up here, okay? You take 12% less skill damage. They did not change this to take 12% less skill damage, smite damage, or combo damage. They didn't do that like they did with the support tree. Okay, now they did add a couple other things in here. I think they increased this to 6% more combo attack damage. So there's different buffs that they did. Okay, and what we're going to find out when you see this, okay, is that they picked and choose which skills or which talents to go put that effect on. Okay, and mainly it's from the bottom right skill tree. And the talent tree. The bottom right talent tree is going to be your combo talent tree. You can see here, it's going to be your smite talent tree. It's going to be your skill talent tree. Now, skill damage is the same way. It's got this little thing, Heraldic Shield. Now, instead of doing 6% less skill damage, it includes combo and smite. So a little bit of a buff there for Chen. We don't need Chen to be any more tanky, but they made it more tanky anyways. And in addition to this, they did it for the defense tree, okay? Now, that's more for garrisons. Well, Gorgo came out before Smite tree was a thing. So she has got a defense tree. Well, the defense tree, now you can run this thing up. In fact, let me go show you what it is. You can run this thing up to 9% less skill damage, smite damage, and combo damage. And we're already seeing that this makes Gorgo much, much more potent against Evar rallies and against Attila Subutai rallies, because now it's mitigating combo and smite. Now, the difference is they did this on a handful select. They were real subjective on what they did it for. I know they're trying to balance the game, but I don't like changing commanders. And the reason why I don't like it is because people have already invested. They've already invested money, time, gold heads, all the things that it takes to building your account. You've already invested in. Okay, and so when you change things, it's like moving the goalposts. I've said it many times, okay? I would rather balance the game with new stuff, not with changing old stuff, because for people who spend a lot of money in this game, it makes you feel really, really bad because you don't have control over, you're literally investing into the game with what they give us, okay? But then they change what they give us. And so it makes you feel a certain way. However, they picked and choose, and so over here in the Garrison tree, you have Impregnable. Just like I showed you with Emblazoned Shield with the Cav tree, you have Impregnable here, and it just sticks to skill damage, okay? So you don't want to run Gorgo with Impregnable against Evar rallies, CPO, Milianis, and Evar rallies. You don't want to run it against Attila Subutai rallies because those rallies are not doing skill damage. And they did not give the buff for this, even though their verbiage literally says any reduction to skill damage now does smite and combo, okay? That's their words. That's literally what they said. And it kind of made people feel a certain way, like, well, this isn't very fair. So I don't know what that answer is, because the minute you open up Pandora's box on changing things, anybody and everybody can have an opinion on whether it's good for the game or bad for the game, or balanced or not balanced. Regardless, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is they're changing things, and they just picked and choose what they changed. They even told you in here, these are the only things they changed. We talked about emergency protection and loose formation for the support tree. We talked about Heraldic Shield for the skill tree. You got the attack tree. Now, this is what had changed, okay? Because based on this was the earlier mail about this, and people lost their minds, and including me. On the attack tree, this commander troop deals 6 more normal damage of all types, but also deals 6% less combo, skill, and smite damage. It used to just be skill damage, and it used to just be 3%, okay? Let me go show you right over here, all right? It was skill damage at 3%, but now it is skill, smite, and combo damage, which is completely disjointed because you're enhancing normal damage, which is a proponent that enhances smite and combo, but then you're nerfing smite and combo. Doesn't make any sense. And this just used to be 3% less skill damage, and you'll see it says 3%. All right? Well, originally when they put this thing out, and I'll tell you what it all means and how it's going to translate into the game. But originally, when they put this thing out, it was 6%. And people got pissed. They got mad. Wait a minute. You're going to nerf my Attila Subutai by 6% on the combo? We're literally running meta rallies and garrisons. Attila David Garrison is the best in the game. And now all of a sudden, you're just going to nerf my combo by 6%. You're increasing it? And adding combo. It's not just skill damage, but now it's combo and you increase it. Well, I think the backlash got to the devs a little bit, and they're like, oh, okay, wait, we got to pump the brakes a little bit here. So they stuck to just a 3%. Okay, so they changed that. Now, what does that mean, guys? Okay, let me just show you something. If you are running Martial Mastery, okay, it kind of nerfs Luce a little bit if you're running him primary. A lot of people still run Luce Alex or Luce Philip. A lot of people. Okay, but now you're going to nerf the smite damage Luce does. You still get the bonus to normal damage, which is good, and it's an overall a net positive. But overall, it's a debuff compared to how it used to be, because this just used to say 3% less skill, and that's it. Well, you're not doing skill damage, so there's no cost, right? It was just 6% more normal damage, and that was the benefit. Well, now there's a cost to it. And it sucks for people who are still running Luce and Alex. I know a lot of people are like, well, you're just talking about the elite level and the Attila rallies and garrisons. No, I'm talking about Luce. And there are so many free-to-plays out there that run Luce with Alex. It's insane. They still run it. And so they changed it, but overall, I really don't like it. Don't like it for Luce. You're nerfing Luce a little bit as a primary with Alex. And with Attila, here's the thing, guys. There are so many different ways you can run this. You can now run the field like this, okay, with the full cav march. I've always kind of liked the rallying cry, okay, because you do 15% more damage for the first 10 seconds of battle. If you disengage the battle and then go back in, you get this again for 10 seconds. It's actually pretty cool. And so from there, this is not bad for the field, okay? But you got to take some points you probably would rather not have taken for that. But if you want to go away from martial mastery, this is how you do it with your Attila in the field. People running Attila Achilles, now you don't get nerfed here, okay? For overall for the rally, this is how you can run it. I'd never liked doing entrenched, but now, hey, why not? It's a 6% all damage effectiveness. You get 3% more damage, 3% less damage, and you can run that for the rally. And then you can still take fight to the death and definitely take effortless when it comes to this. Stay away from martial mastery. And then you can go here with the Undying Fury. You can go here with the health. You don't care about the march speed, so you don't have to do that. You do more damage to the archers, which is always good, even if you're rallying infantry garrisons. This works great because if you get swarmed by archers, you're doing 9% more damage back to them while they're trying to swarm you. So that's how you can set that up for the rally, okay? And so with that, this has always been the tried and true field garrison rally tree of Attila. But now with this, you might think about changing some things. Personally, I don't think it's too much of a debuff, okay? It still doesn't make it right. It still doesn't make it right that they went in and changed a commander after everybody's already invested in Subutai and David and gone full in on combo and full in on Arch and all that stuff. I don't think it's right, but since they did it, a 3% debuff to combo damage for Attila with a combo commander behind him, not a huge deal. It's probably a decent trade-off still with 6% more normal damage. And the reason why is because Attila does so much normal damage. This is why this guy is still popular today, and he's still popular with the Arch formation. You do even more, 20% more normal damage when the troop has less than 50% of units remaining. If you're in the field, you're always hitting marches that are less than 50%. You always are. It's happening all the time. Okay, and with that, you've got all these different bonuses, of course, and then you've got the all damage bonus Attila does. So is a 3% mitigation to combo damage really that big of a deal when you're more focused on normal damage? Probably not. Probably not, especially when you have the Arch formation and you're ramping up the boost for normal damage. You're ramping up more normal damage here. This is really, really good. Special inscription, not just for rallies and garrisons, but in the field, because you get this instantly whenever you focus a target and that target's got lower HP bar, okay? Same thing with Fearless. You're just running a boost for the normal damage. So he's the normal damage king. We all know this with Attila. So I don't think you're going to get too much of an effect, even if you keep Martial Mastery. Okay, it's not going to change too much. I think it probably hurts Luce more because he doesn't run the normal damage up like Attila. So you might think about changing that tree when it comes to Luce. Do I already have a different tree for Luce? I think I did. I think this is the direction I would go if I was not running Martial Mastery. I think something like that, or no, I had it down here too. So probably something like that. That's how I would run the Luce. So with that, overall, is it a good change for the game? Yeah, it probably balances the game a little bit more. Okay, is it going to make support commanders that much better? Yeah, definitely. But I don't know a whole lot of people who are running CPO primary and running a CPO Ragnar March anymore. Most everybody's running Smite for infantry. Does it help the skill damage commanders? I don't think that's going to pull Huo all of a sudden back into the meta. Like it's a little bit of a buff to his mitigation. But the best thing that's going to pull a skill damage cavalry commander back into the meta is if they make a new cavalry commander that's loaded up with crazy skill damage like Chin. That's what's going to pull skill damage cavalry back into the meta. We're going to get new formations. Okay, that announcement's coming really quickly. And when we get new formations for skill damage, is it going to be good enough to pull Huo back into the meta? Probably not. Okay, because if they did that, they would make Chen literally Thanos level. Thanos, Infinity Gauntlet level commander. Okay, and so from there, that's kind of how we set this thing up. And we just got to do what the game gives us. Are these buffs bad or good? Yeah, that's completely a debate on whether or not it balances the game. I just don't like them because you're changing commanders and you're changing people's investments of what they invested in the game at the time. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Throw a like on here. Hope you're having a good weekend, okay? The likes really help out the channel. Also, get down in my comments. Tell me what you think. Okay, and interact there. I love getting down there and working with you guys there. Also, if you want to join my Discord, the link is down in the description. We have been having debates about this for like 3 days now. 3 days. So if you want to join those debates, if you want to get in and get everybody's opinion on this, join my Discord and jump into my general chat where everybody's talking about this. And with that, we hope you have a great day, broskies.